What is up and welcome to another edition of Worth a Watch with me, Anthony Flores. This is going to be my review for Top 5. Just for a moment, I am gonna try to do a Chris Rock impression. He always has the really funny hand motions and just all kinds of things. He gets real high pitched and doing all this crazy stuff with his voice. He's got the raspiness and stuff. You know, people always forget that Chris Rock is pretty funny. He could be really good and hilarious. Oh my god. I'm whether that impression was or bad or awful and whatever, hope you enjoyed that and laughing at my stupidity. Anyways, as I said, top 5. A very, very, very big surprise. I didn't expect much of anything from this movie. Saw this with some friends and I enjoy Chris Rock. I really do. I liked his movie Head of State. I definitely think he was pretty funny in SNL. And his stand-up specials are always, they were controversial, and he always said, whatever the fuck came on his mind. There was a big controversies way back in the 90s where he basically went on a racist rant against white people and stuff, and there was a whole bunch of crazy shit that happened in his life here or there in terms of controversy like that in his stand-up. So for him to translate that into a movie, I think that's very genius because he's at that point of his career. He's like a middle-aged guy now, and he went from stand-up. He's tried to do a lot of movies here or there, and this is his third film that he's wrote and directed and starred in, so that's a pretty great accomplishment for a comedian. And a movie about a comedian, which is the character that he plays, is basically a fictionalized version of himself, but he is Andre Allen in this movie, and he is a guy who is famous for creating a character, and everybody just wants him to be that character named Hammy the Bear. It's Hammy time! That was a catchphrase. And that was hilarious. I kind of wish that movie was real. But you see him struggle with wanting to just be a real actor. He wants to be something more than just that character, or caricature, if you will. And Rosario Dawson is a reporter that basically just wants to interview him, find out who he really is on the inside. And from there, we realize a lot between the both of them. Their dialogue is superb together. I really wasn't expecting that. You just see them walking. The opening shot is them walking and talking, and instantly they have great chemistry. And at first I thought it was going to be a bit cliched, because a lot of these movies, the whole cliche of these two strangers fall in love and all this other crap. But no, it actually took a very nice detour. You find out both of them are eventually they eventually explain to each other that they are recovering alcoholics, and basically Chris Rock's character goes through being famous and shit, and he just was funny, and he felt he was funny because of the alcohol, but that's something he's trying to prove to himself by being an actor. And then Rosario Dawson has she's had a hard life and upbringing and stuff, and she drank because she was just her personal issues. I won't give too much more away, but from there you also see a little bit of just back and forth with their lives, and it's just really great to see that. And it's genuinely funny. That's the biggest amazing thing about this movie, is that it's genuinely funny. A lot of laugh out loud moments, and then there's a hint of dysfunctional family scenarios thrown in here with Chris Rock's character's family. A lot of SNL people there as well. You have Tracy Morgan, for 30 Rock. That's a terrible impression, I'm sorry. I'm trying too hard right now. Then you have the newcomers like Michael Che, Leslie Jones, and Jay Farrow, who's technically kind of a mainstay now. I love that guy and his impressions. But yeah, and then we have a few other people like Sherri Shepard, I forgot a handful of other people. Either way, though, you get the family dysfunction, you get the dialogue and the not love story, but just the people story, just what you see, the vulnerability of people in their lives when they're at their lowest, being shoved into a corner, trying to be that character for the rest of your life because the people demand it. You see a side of actors that isn't really portrayed this good, because it's unfortunate. It's been done before, though. It's not original, but it's well done here. It's showing how an actor gets boxed in and tries so hard to be something different, but everyone just expects him to be the same. And there's even another side of poking fun at reality TV is that Gabrielle Union plays the fiance to Chris Rock's character. And it shows a backstory between that I wasn't expecting either. And I'm pretty sure many reality stars probably feel the same way. So even giving some validity to how stupid and over the top reality TV is as well is thrown in the mix of this movie. So it's very well rounded. It's just not over in terms of a comedy. It's just really not a shitty movie. I was thinking this is gonna just be a stereotypical comedy. Chris Rock's probably gonna try too hard, but no. He succeeded here. It's a really funny movie and great cameos, by the way. There's legit comedians in this movie, established comedians, and there's a stand-up. There's a bit of a stand-up scene in here as well, and great cameos. And just I'll say this: if the comedy of Chris Rock will not let you see this movie, if you just don't care, well, if you want to see Jerry Seinfeld make it rain in a strip club, if that doesn't sell you on the movie, I don't know what will. But overall, I found it very fun, a very fun enough movie. It's very genuine, it's heartfelt, and it's basically like Chris Rock's Judd Apatow movie, because that's what Judd Apatow tries to do so much in his films. Be very funny, very raunchy, but at the same time, be real and heartfelt. So I think in Chris Rock's own brand of humor, he brings that style of what, similar to a Judd Apatow movie, but except it's definitely more of Chris Rock's own style, that's for sure. Very different from Judd Apatow's comedy. But anyways, I don't highly recommend it. I don't say rush out of the theater, but I definitely say give it a good matinee price, and I'd say it's worth your time checking out in the theater. If not, you can always rent it or stream it later on. But that should do it for my review of Top 5. And the whole thing about the Top 5 is listing your favorite artists if you didn't see the trailer, so that's pretty fun. So what's your Top 5? Feel free to list that in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anthony Flores with Worth a Watch, and keep going to the movies.